Hello everybody! So this is going to be a two-part review. Obviously based on the title, it's on the My Favorite Things cardstock and their new, or new to me, ink pads. I've had a lot of people asking, like, would I recommend them? Is it worth investing in? What I thought about it. I was just telling people yes, without even seeing it myself, just because I know My Favorite Things. I used to work for them quite a few years ago. I purchased their stamps. I love their little steel dies, which I've already done a review video on. I'll post a link to that here. I've used their stuff for years, and I know their dedication to quality, and just they're a really great company, and I love dealing with them. So yeah, without even seeing the cardstock and inks, I was sure they'd be great, but finally I've got my hands on some of it so I can use it for myself and tell you guys what I think about it. And yeah, 2 thumbs up. It's really great stuff. I'm impressed with it. I got a few different colors of their cardstock, including the craft, which I was really excited about. I love the craft cardstock. Craft is something, to me, it's like it's one of my go-to neutrals. So I use it a lot. I actually made a Mother's Day card with it, which, sorry, I did not film. I'm just going to post it on my blog after Mother's Day because, you know, I made it last minute, as always. And anyway, the weight of their cardstock is really good. It's a heavyweight cardstock. I would compare it to Stampin' Up's. I have a piece of Stampin' Up's. They call it Crumb Cake now. Back when I bought it, it was still craft. They're almost identical. They're kind of basically like a shade off in color, but same thing. The colors are true. They're dyed all the way through, so they're not a white core cardstock. They're a solid color cardstock. And yeah, good heavy weight to them, so you can use them as card bases, which for me, I really like that. Over the years, I've stuck with my Stampin' Up! Cardstock because, again, I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demo. I have a lifetime supply of cardstock, but I'm always looking for something new to add to the collection, different colors, etc., etc. And yeah, this stuff is great. So I'm sure down the road, I won't be surprised if I run out of certain colors. I'll probably just repurchase them in the My Favorite Things colors in line, because I think it's great stuff. Yeah, I've got that. The only thing I noticed, like, the MFT black is slightly, like, yeah, you can see it on the video here. It's slightly lighter. This is a scrap I've got of the Stampin' Up! Black. I really like the Stampin' Up! Black. It's a very solid black. This one's a little more, it's a little lighter, a bit more like mottled, I guess you could say. I noticed that with the darker colors. It kind of, yeah, it's not a complete, solid, deep dye through, but honestly, that doesn't bother me too much. When you go to make a card and you're cutting out smaller pieces, you're not going to see that anyway. Like, you're not giving someone a card that's a full sheet of cardstock. So, meh. To me, I still think it's great. And again, the weight through them all is consistent of all the colors. I love the brighter colors. This is the pink, which would be this is Raspberry. So, really pretty. And yeah, they have coordinating ink colors with their cardstocks too, and they're pretty true to color, so I was really happy with that as well. A pretty lighter pink, a really nice dark brown. The red is really nice, like that is a true red, so I really like that. Nice olive green, and then this is Snow Cone, really pretty pale aqua color, which again I love. This to me is also another like go-to neutral, which I've had a hard time finding more like this. I have some old Stampin' Up! Stuff, one of their in colors that was similar to this, and I've used it almost completely up. So I was really excited to get some more of that, because I use that like I use a neutral, like I use like black and white and craft. So yeah, you cannot go wrong with their cardstock. The price is great. I will add a little annotation around here with the price per package, aka per sheet, however it works out. Because yeah, my poor pregnancy brain can't remember these details to save my life. But yeah, you can't go wrong if you order My Favorite Things cardstock. They are fabulous. And ordering from the company, if you've never ordered from them before, they're great too. So, speaking of which, I'm sure some people noticed, like, they did change their shipping prices, had to go up quite drastically, at least for people like me in Canada, international, that kind of thing. That wasn't their fault. That's the United States Postal Service. They changed everything. So MFT now ships via FedEx, and I gotta say, my order showed up in, I think they shipped to me on a Friday and I had it by Monday. So basically at 1 business day. It should have taken longer. I think average is like 2 to 5-ish, something like that. And yeah, I had this stuff in like 1 day. It was sitting on my doorstep. Fabulous. So yeah, it's a little painful having to pay a small fortune for shipping, but if you bundle up your order, they can fit quite a bit in the box. And yeah, it's a hard price to swallow, but at the same time, you get it faster than anything else, because my average orders take at least 2 weeks to get to me, so it's pretty sweet to get it in a day. So that's that info. These are some of the inks I was playing around with. So they're ink pads. They're made by Colorbox, so right there tells you it's good quality. Colorbox has been around for years. So yeah, they're all water-based dye ink pads, and they've got, they kind of look funny right there, don't they? They're basically just solid foam now. I don't have any other ink pads to compare these to. I think Stampin' Up! Has switched over to these style of pads instead of the old linen cover type ink pads. Reason being is with the advent of all of these clear stamps that we have now, the old style of dye ink pads don't work as well with clear stamps, whereas these foam type do a way better job at getting a better coverage. And these are great. Like, I am impressed with just playing around what great coverage I get on. So I just did like an ink up stamp and then stamped off a second time for a different look. But even their lighter colors, they ink up really, really well. So you just kind of tap it on your ink pad. The lighter colors, it's a lot harder to see. If you hold it over white, you can kind of see it better. Let's get that out of the way there. And then just press her down, and really, really pretty in my opinion. It's hard again to see on camera with such a pale color, but I'm really impressed with the pale colors, because I've got other ink pads from other companies with lighter colors and they don't stamp near as well. These I really like, and like I love this aqua color, like the snow cone. Love that. Again, harder to see on camera, but it is such a pretty color. I just love it. And the price is great. These are just under $5. I think they're like $4.70, something like that. So really great price for a full-size ink pad. And then I do recommend getting the ink refills with them. That's a separate purchase, obviously. But when it comes to ink pads like this, just from what I could find online with different, I was kind of searching around for info on that, and these kinds of ink pads can, I think, dry out faster. I can't comment on that in this review just because I haven't had these long enough. I haven't been using them long enough to say whether I noticed that, but it's kind of nice too to have the ink refill. One, if you need it, and two, you can watercolor with them, because it's just a water-based ink, so you can put a drop of the ink refill like on a piece of plastic or an acrylic block, pick it up with a water brush, and you can watercolor with it if you wanted to. So that's also another option. The black ink pad is fine in my opinion. It's a fine if you want just a water-based, just black ink. I'm happy with it. I used it on the Mother's Day card I had made that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, it's just fine. You could definitely see it stamps just great in my opinion. So I like it. I'm gonna have to experiment with it, see if it will work with Copics, like the Brilliance, not the Brilliance, my Memento ink, that's my kind of go-to ink. So I'll have to kind of experiment and see what I think about that. Actually here. So I just quickly grabbed a Copic marker and we'll just see how these react. It's all right with Copics. Again, I'll have to actually do like a line image and color and see what I think about it, and then compare it to the Memento, so maybe that'll be a video later on. But I do like the saturation of black. Like, it looks like more of like a true black, not a deep purple like some ink pads tend to be. I know Stampin' Up's at one time My old Stampin' Up! Black ink pad anyway is basically just a really, really dark purple. So irritating. So, no, honestly, I think they're great. The lids are just kind of so-so with these. Some are better than others. I've had a couple that they almost seem to click in a little bit, which I really like. But yeah, for the price, I think they're fine. Like, as long as your lid's kept on, you can store them upside down. I've had people ask me about that, like with some of my ink pads, why I did, and other ones I don't. Storing them upside down just means that the ink is more at the surface of the ink pad. I used to do that all the time with my old ink pads, making sure all of them were stored upside down. Now, I honestly don't see that big of a difference. You'd probably notice more of a difference when the ink pads are starting to dry out a little bit more. But for me, I don't really care. I like that the labeling is done in the color of the ink too. That makes it kind of just nice to see. And then it's also on the back. If you were to place them all upside down, it does say the name of the ink as well. That's another reason why I don't store my ink pads upside down very often, because I like to be able to see when I go to just grab a color. I can see the color immediately. You can kind of stack them too if you wanted. They stack okay. Obviously you couldn't have more than a few. They'd start to fall over after a while. But yeah, I honestly can't say enough good things about My Favorite Things products. I do highly recommend them. I've never had a problem with them. Never had a problem with the company. I think they're great. So feel free, if you have your own experience to share, anything like that, you can post a comment down below. I will post a link to my blog with, I'm going to post a card and different things using their products, and there's also going to be a discount code that's only good for the next 3 days. Well, 2 days, like today and the next couple days. So a very limited time, but I'll post that on my blog below. So in the info box right below the video, link to my blog, all that info will be in there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!